Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Ram Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Chaitanya Prabhu
Krishna
Nityananda
Hare
Shri
Ram
Advaita
Ram
Srivasa Di
Hare
Gaur Bhakta
Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare
Hare Ram Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna 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 Krishna
Krishna
Hare Hare Ram Ram
Hare
Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram
Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna Krishna Hare
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 Krishna Krishna Hare Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna
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 Krishna Hare Ram 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 Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram
Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare Ram Ram
Hare
Ram Hare
Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna 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 Hare
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 Hare Ram Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna Hare Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare Hare Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna
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 Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री श्री साधु गौर बचन हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण हरे राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम हरे राम 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 हरे कृष्ण हरे राम हरे राम हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम हरे राम हरे कृष्ण हरे राम हरे राम हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम हरे राम हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम हरे राम हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम हरे कृष्ण हरे राम हरे राम हरे कृष्ण हरे हरे राम हरे राम हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे Hare Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare
Hare Rama
Hare
Hare Rama Rama Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama
Hare
Hare Rama
Krishna
Rama Hare Krishna Hare
Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare Rama
Krishna
Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare
Hare Hare
जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत
Hare
गदाधर
Krishna Krishna
श्रीवासादि
Krishna
गौरभक्तवृंद
Krishna
जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य
Hare
प्रभु
Rama
नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि
Krishna
गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम राम हरे
Hare
हरे
Krishna
कृष्ण
Krishna
कृष्ण
Krishna
हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण
Hare
कृष्ण हरे
Krishna
हरे
Krishna
हरे हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम हरे कृष्ण
Krishna
कृष्ण
Krishna
कृष्ण हरे राम हरे
Hare
कृष्ण
Ram
कृष्ण हरे राम हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण
Hare Ram Hare Ram
हरे
Hare
राम हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण
Hare
कृष्ण
Ram
हरे कृष्ण हरे राम हरे
Hare
कृष्ण
Ram
कृष्ण हरे
Hare Krishna
हरे राम हरे
Krishna
कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण
Hare
कृष्ण
Hare
हरे
Krishna
हरे
Hare
राम हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे
Krishna
हरे
Krishna
राम नाम हरे हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम नाम हरे हरे कृष्ण
Hare
कृष्ण
Krishna
हरे
Krishna
हरे
Krishna Hare
राम नाम हरे हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे नाम
Hare
हरे हरे
Hare
कृष्ण
Krishna
कृष्ण
Krishna
हरे 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 राम नाम हरे हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम हरे हरे कृष्ण हरे 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 राम नाम हरे हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे नाम हरे हरे कृष्ण हरे हरे राम हरे हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे कृष्ण हरे हरे राम हरे कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण हरे हरे राम हरे कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण हरे राम हरे कृष्ण हरे राम हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम हरे कृष्ण हरे राम हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम हरे कृष्ण हरे हरे राम हरे कृष्ण हरे राम हरे कृष्ण राम राम हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम हरे कृष्ण हरे राम हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण हरे हरे राम कृष्ण हरे 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 राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम हरे कृष्ण हरे राम हरे कृष्ण हरे हरे राम हरे कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम हरे हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण
Hare Krishna Krishna
हरे
Krishna
राम
Hare Hare
हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे हरे
Hare
राम
Krishna 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare
हरे राम हरे हरे कृष्ण
Krishna Krishna
कृष्ण
Krishna
कृष्ण
Hare
हरे 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 राम हरे हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे
Hare
राम
Krishna Krishna
हरे
Krishna
कृष्ण हरे 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 राम हरे कृष्ण
Hare
कृष्ण
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare
कृष्ण
Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare
हरे राम हरे कृष्ण
Hare
कृष्ण
Krishna
कृष्ण
Krishna
हरे हरे राम हरे कृष्ण हरे
Hare
राम
Krishna
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम
Hare
हरे
Krishna
हरे
Krishna
कृष्ण
Krishna
कृष्ण
Hare
कृष्ण हरे राम हरे राम कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम
Krishna
हरे राम हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे राम हरे राम हरे हरे Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Nam Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Nam Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Nam Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Ram Ram Nam Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Nam Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Nam Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरवतम जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरवतम जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरवतम हरे कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण हरे 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 राम हरे कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण हरे राम हरे राम राम हरे हरे कृष्ण हरे राम हरे हरे कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे कृष्ण हरे राम राम हरे हरे कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 राम हरे हरे कृष्ण हरे
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Hare Krishna
Hare,
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare Hare
Rama,
Ram Ram
Hare
Ram
Rama,
Ram Hare Hare
Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Hare
Hare
Hare Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare Hare. Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna
Rama,
Hare Hare
Rama
Ram
Rama,
Ram
Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare.
Ram
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare.
Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare.
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna, Hare
Ram
Hare.
Hare Hare
Hare Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna
Rama
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare.
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare
Rama,
Ram
Hare Rama, Rama
Ram Hare
Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Hare Hare.
Ram Hare
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare.
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Ram Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna
Hare Rama,
Ram
Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Ram Ram
Hare
Ram Hare
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama
Hare
Rama,
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare.
Krishna Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare.
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Rama,
Ram
Rama
Hare
Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Hare. Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna Krishna
Rama,
Krishna Krishna
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Ram
Hare Hare.
Ram
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare. Hare
Ram
Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Ram
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare. Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna Krishna
Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Ram
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Ram
Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare.
Ram
Hare
Ram Hare
Rama, Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Hare Krishna,
Ram
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna Krishna
Rama
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare.
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare.
Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare.
Hare
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare
Ram Ram
Krishna,
Hare Hare
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Krishna, Krishna,
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Rama,
Hare.
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Rama
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Ram
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare.
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare
Ram Ram
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare.
Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare
Rama,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Hare
Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
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 Hare. Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna Krishna Hare
Rama
Ram
Rama,
Ram
Hare Hare. Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna
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 Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Ram Ram
Hare Rama, Hare
Hare Krishna
Rama,
Krishna
Rama
Hare
Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna, Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Ram
Hare
Ram Hare
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna Krishna
Rama,
Krishna Krishna
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Ram
Hare Hare.
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare
Hare Ram
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Ram Ram Ram
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare.
Krishna Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Ram Hare
Krishna
Ram Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna
Rama,
Hare
Hare Rama,
Ram
Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna Hare Krishna
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 Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare Ram Hare Ram
Hare
Ram Ram
Rama,
Hare
Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama
Krishna Hare
Rama,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare.
Krishna Hare Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram Ram
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram Hare
Hare
Ram Ram
Rama,
Ram Hare
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare.
Krishna Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram Ram
Hare.
Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna Krishna
Rama,
Krishna Hare
Hare
Hare Ram
Rama,
Ram Ram
Rama
Ram Hare
Rama,
Hare
Hare Hare. Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama
Hare
Rama,
Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare.
Krishna Hare
Hare
Hare Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna
Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna
Rama,
Krishna Hare
Rama
Ram
Rama,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare.
Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare Krishna
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 Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare Hare
Hare.
Ram Ram
Hare
Ram
Rama,
Hare Hare
Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Hare
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 Hare.
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare
Krishna Krishna
Rama,
Krishna
Hare
Hare Ram
Rama,
Ram
Rama Rama,
Hare
Hare Hare. Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
ఈ
Hare.
వాసాది గర్భతుందా
Hare
Hare
శ్రీ కృష్ణ
Rama,
చైతన్య
Hare
ప్రభు
Rama,
నిత్యానంద శ్రీ అద్వైత గదాధర శ్రీ వాసుదేవ
Hare
గర్భతుందా హరే
Krishna,
కృష్ణ హరే
Hare
కృష్ణ హరే
Krishna,
కృష్ణ హరే
Hare
హరే
Rama,
హరే
Hare
రామ హరే రామ 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 హరే
Hare
హరే కృష్ణ
Rama,
హరే కృష్ణ
Hare
హరే కృష్ణ
Rama,
హరే 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 రామ హరే
Rama
రామ
Rama, Hare Hare.
హరే
Hare
కృష్ణ హరే
Krishna,
కృష్ణ
Hare Krishna 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 Krishna
Hare Rama Nam Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Rama
Krishna
Nam Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna
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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Rama
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna
Hare Rama Hare Rama
Hare Hare
Rama Rama Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama Rama
Krishna,
Rama Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna
Rama,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama
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 Rama,
Hare
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 Hare.
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Rama
Hare.
Rama Hare
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 Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna Krishna
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Rama
Rama, Hare
Rama
Hare.
Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare.
Krishna Hare Rama
Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama Hare
Rama,
Hare Krishna
Rama
Krishna Krishna
Rama,
Krishna
Hare
Hare Hare
Hare. Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama Rama
Krishna,
Rama
Krishna
Rama Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare.
Krishna Krishna Hare
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 Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare Rama
Rama
Hare Rama
Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama
Hare.
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Hare
Hare
Hare Rama
Krishna,
Rama
Krishna Krishna,
Rama
Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare Hare
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama
Hare.
Rama Rama
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Rama
Hare.
Hare Hare
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama
Krishna Krishna
Rama,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Rama
Hare
Rama
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare. Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare.
Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna
Rama
Krishna Hare
Rama,
Rama
Hare Hare.
Rama
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Hare Hare
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama
Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama
Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna
Rama
Krishna Krishna
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare Hare
Hare.
Rama
Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Rama Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare.
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare
Rama,
Rama
Hare Rama.
Rama Hare
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 Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare
Rama
Hare Rama Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare Rama Hare Rama
Hare Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare
Hare
Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare
Rama Hare Rama
Hare
Hare
Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama
Hare
Rama
Rama
Hare
Rama
Hare
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare Rama Hare Rama Rama
Hare
Hare
Rama Hare
Krishna Hare
Rama
Krishna
Rama
Krishna
Hare
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 Rama Hare
Hare
Rama Rama Hare Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Rama
Krishna
Rama
Hare
Rama
Hare
Hare
Hare Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Thank you for chanting, Prabhu. Chandraval Prabhu, Lavanya and Sinivranda. Thank you. We finish that round, Prabhu, and you can start reading when I call. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji Sanmatatis, and our pranam. All glory to Srila Prabhupada and Gurudev. So we'll start with our class. So before that, let me put 1 second. Chandraval Prabhu,
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
my situation in Prabhu, are you able to run the call?
నేను మొబైల్ మీద ఉన్నాను ప్రభుజీ. ల్యాప్టాప్ ఈ రోజు ఎందుకో చాలా స్లో అయిపోయింది, అసలు వర్క్ చేయట్లా.
Mhm.
ఇంకా ఇంకా రీస్టార్ట్ పెట్టినా సరే ఇంకా చాలా చాలా
Time
slow అయింది. అవును ప్రభుజీ.
Okay. We'll manage. I'll run. Okay.
నా
Uh,
ల్యాప్టాప్ రీస్టార్ట్ అయ్యేదాకా నేను చూస్తా ప్రభుజీ, అప్పుడు మీకు
sure.
అప్డేట్ చేస్తాను. ఓకేనా ప్రభుజీ?
Okay, sure, Prabhu.
ఓకే ప్రభుజీ.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we can run up to 8:30, right? Today.
చూద్దాం Prabhuji class చూద్దాం. It's okay.
నాది కూడా స్లో ఉంది.
హరే కృష్ణ హరే కృష్ణ.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana-Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namane Namaste Saraswate Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashatha Deshatarine Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vranda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukhaṁ karoti vācālam pangam langhayate girim यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दिनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्यमीश्वरम् ॐ अपवित्र पवित्रो वा सर्वावसङ्गतोऽपि वा यस्मरेत् पुण्डरीकाक्षं सबाह्याभ्यन्तरं सचि श्रीविष्णु ॐ तद्विष्णु परमं पदं सदा पश्यन्ति सूरयो दिवि वा चक्षुरादतं सद्विप्रास विपन्यमो जागृहं स समिन्दते विष्णुं यत्परमं पदम् हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैवं नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवते उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिके कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः. We are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, the status quo, Chapter 30, Description by Lord Kapila of Adverse Fruitive Activities. Text 6. 30th chapter also we started, huh? Mhm. Three chapters, okay. Okay. Translation purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Such satisfaction with one's standard of living is due to deep-rooted attraction for body, wife, home, children, animals, wealth, and friends. In such association, the conditioned soul thinks himself quite perfect. Purport. This so-called perfection of human life is a concoction. Therefore, it is said that the materialist, however materially qualified he may be, is worthless because he is hovering on the mental plane, which will drag him again to the material existence of temporary life. One who acts on the mental plane cannot get promotion to the spiritual. Such a person is always sure to glide down again to material life. In the association of so-called society, friendship, and love, the conditioned soul appears completely satisfied. Brahma, Brahma, illusion. Yeah, text 7. Anybody likes to read? Hare Krishna.
I will read, Prabhuji.
Go ahead.
A
Okay.
translation purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Although he is always burning with anxiety, such a fool always performs all kinds of mischievous activities with a hope which is never to be fulfilled in order to maintain his so-called family and society. Purport. It is said that it is easier to maintain a great empire than to maintain a small family, especially in these days when the influence of Kali Yuga is so strong that everyone is harassed and full of anxieties because of accepting the false presentation of Maya's family. The family we maintain is created by Maya. It is the perverted reflection of the family in Krishnaloka. In Krishnaloka, there are also family, friends, society, father and mother. Everything is there, but there are eternal. Here, as we change bodies, our family relationships also change. Sometimes we are in a family of human beings. Sometimes in family of demigods. Sometimes a family of cats, or sometimes a family of dogs. Family, society, and friendship are flickering, and so they are called as asat. It is said that as long as we are attached to this asat, temporary and non-existing society and family, we are always full of anxieties. The materialists do not know that the family, society, and friendship here in the material world are only shadows, and thus they become attached. Naturally, their hearts are always burning, but in spite of inconvenience, they still work to maintain such false families because they have no information of the real family association with Krishna.
Mhm. Mhm. Asat, temporary nature of this relations, but eternally So these are the perverted reflection. Material world is perverted reflection of spiritual world. Prabhupada writes, spiritual. In the spiritual world, everything is eternal. And that is real relationships. That is continuously existing. Here, as long as body is there, the relationship is there. As soon as body is left, soul is left from the body, again, new life, new relations, new family, etc. Okay. Text 8. You want to read,
Yes,
Lavanya?
bro.
ఒక్కొక్కటి ఒకటి ఇద్దాం పోవా.
Can I read or?
సో ఇది కంటిన్యూగా మళ్ళీ భాగవతమే టచ్ చేసిందా ఈ చాప్టర్?
అంటే కంటిన్యూషన్ ఉంది కదా అని చదివాము. మళ్ళీ తర్వాత సుబోధిని హ్యాండీగా లేదు కదా, సో కంటిన్యూషన్ లో కాలా గురించి ఉంది. 29th కాలా ఇంట్రొడ్యూస్ చేసిండ్రు, తర్వాత 30th లో కూడా ద ఎటర్నల్ టైమ్ కాలా అని ఉంది. సో
కంటిన్యూ, ప్లీజ్ రీడ్.
Translation and purport by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation: He gives heart and senses to a woman who falsely charms him with Maya. He enjoys solitary embraces and talking with her, and he is enchanted by the sweet words of the small children. Purport: Family life within the kingdom of illusory energy Maya is just like a prison of the eternal living entity. In prison, a prisoner is shackled by iron chains and iron bars. Similarly, a conditioned soul is shackled by the charming beauty of a woman, by her solitary embraces and talks of so-called love, and by the sweet words of his small children. Thus, he forgets his real identity. In this verse, the word Srinam Asatinam indicate that womanly love is just to agitate the mind of a man. Actually, in the material world, there is no love. Both the women and men are interested in their sense gratification. For sense gratification, a woman creates an illusory love, and the man becomes enchanted by such false love and forgets his real duty. When there are children as the result of such combination, the next attraction is to the sweet words of the children. The love of a woman at home and a talk of a children make one to secure prisoner, and thus he cannot leave his home. Such a person is termed in Vedic language a Grihamedi, which means one whose center of attraction is home. Grihastha refers to one who lives with family. Grihastha refers to one who lives with a family, wife, children, but whose real purpose of living is to develop Krishna consciousness. One is therefore advised to become a Grihastha and not a Grihamedi. The Grihastha's concern is to get out of the family life created by illusion and enter into real family life with Krishna, whereas the Grihamedi's business is to repeatedly chain himself to so-called family life in one life after another and perpetually remain in the darkness of Maya. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, that is what Prabhupada mentions, Grihastha life, keeping Krishna in the center and perform. Gruhe Tako, Vane Tako, Sadari Bole Tako. That's what it is. Consciousness. All the time consciousness. Krishna-centered activities. Now the family, sit together, praise together, stays together, chant together, and love each other. Hare Krishna. Text 9, who likes to read?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yeah, Saraswati.
Yes, Mataji. Chadandi, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji. Thank you, Mataji. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The attached householder remain in his family life, which is full of diplomacy and politics, always spreading miseries and controlled by the acts of sense gratification. He acts just to counteract the reactions of all his miseries. And if he can successfully counteract such miseries, he thinks that he is happy. Purport. In the Bhagavad Gita, the personality of Godhead himself certifies the material world as an impermanent place that is full of miseries. There is no question of happiness in this material world, either individually or in terms of family, society, or country. If something is going on in the name of happiness, that is also illusion. Here, in this material world, happiness means successful counteraction to the effect of distress. The material world is so made that unless one becomes a clever diplomat, his life will be a failure. Not to speak of human society, even the society of lower animals, the birds and bees, cleverly manages its bodily demands of eating, sleeping, and mating. Human society competes nationally or individually, and in the attempt to be successful, the entire human society become full of diplomacy. We should always remember that, in spite of all diplomacy and all intelligence in the struggle for our existence, everything will end in a second by the supreme will. Therefore, all our attempts to become happy in this material world are simply a delusion offered by Maya. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna. Yeah, thank you, Mataji. Certification. Krishna Prabhupada writes, certified. This material world is certified. Who is certified? Krishna is certified. Krishna only created. What is that? Mm,
దుఃఖాలయం అశాశ్వతం.
yeah. Dukkhalayam Shashvatam. So this word, certification. What is that certification? Dukkhalayam Shashvatam. Full of miseries. No, there is no question of happiness in the material world. No question. Outright word. No question of happiness in this material world. Okay, whatever we see happiness, it's a bodily happiness. Hmm? Real happiness, the spiritual happiness is beyond the body, soul level. Atma Santrupti అంటాం తెలుగులో ఒక word. Atma Trupti. How can we get that Atma Trupti? By when we do nice hearing and chanting regularly. Yes. Text 10. Next, who?
Actually, also, Prabhupada also tells like happiness is contraction of the effects of distress here. అంటే డిస్ట్రెస్ కి కాంట్రాక్షన్ అది అంటే డిస్ట్రెస్ ఉంటది దానికి కాంట్రాక్షన్ గా మళ్ళీ హ్యాపీనెస్ ఉంటది మళ్ళీ తర్వాత డిస్ట్రెస్ ఉంటది.
Yeah. Nobody, no one becomes always happy. I'm happy all the time. No, not possible with this body, within this material world. That's where, just like Krishna only says in the Bhagavad Gita, just like seasons are changing, summer and winter, like happiness and distress coming along the way. Sometimes happiness, sometimes distress. ఒక పర్సన్కి అన్ని ఉంటాయి, ఏ పని చేయకుండా హాయిగా బతకడానికి ఉంటుంది, బట్ స్టిల్ ఈజ్ మిజరబుల్ కండిషన్. ఇన్ మైండ్ వాట్స్ గోయింగ్ ఆన్ వి డోంట్ నో, బికాస్ దిస్ నేచర్, ఎంత పెద్ద బిలియనీర్ అయినా he has his own problems, because that certification, material world certification is dukkhalayam shashvatam, certified to undergo miseries, full of miseries, and temporary also. Whatever, just meditate. We are reading nicely, since many years. It's okay, but we have to consciously understand, what is in there actually. What is next? What's next? How do I uh, purify my existence? How can I work on my existence? I don't want to be situated all the time in miserable or unhappy conditions of life. Body is there, we have to tolerate. Tolerate is one of the quality of a devotee, because material world means suffering, right? We have to tolerate those sufferings, otherwise how can we, whatever conditions, whatever situation, దుఃఖాలే శాశ్వతం. ఎంత పెద్ద ఉన్నకైనా కూడా సమస్యలు ఉంటూనే ఉంటాయి. సో దట్ ఈస్ ద నేచర్ ఆఫ్ దిస్ వరల్డ్. బట్ there is a every chance for a person who are seriously working on his life or her life. What is the purpose of life? What is the aim of life? What is the goal of life? Purpose, aim, and goal. Right? Shastra says, right? Shastra says those two, Vedanta Sutra, Atato Brahma Jigyasa and Aham Brahmasmi. If we really every day meditate upon those two words, that's it. We get some seriousness. Aham Brahmasmi. I am not this body, I am spirit soul. Atato Brahma Jigyasa. Human life is designed for self-realization, not designed for to enjoy. See, human life means austerity. Durlabha manusha janma, right? So yeah, next ever, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Mata. Yeah, continue.
Translation and Patpat by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. He secures money by committing violence here and there, and although he employs it in the service of his family, he himself eats only a little portion of the food thus purchased, and he goes to hell for those for whom he earned the money in such an irregular way. Purport: there is a Bengali proverb. The person for whom I have stolen accuses me of being a thief. The family members for whom an attached person acts in so many criminal ways are never satisfied. In illusion, an attached person serves such family members, and by serving them, he is destined to enter into a hellish condition of life. For example, a thief steals something to maintain his family, and he is caught and imprisoned. This is the sum and substance of material existence and attachment to material society, friendship, and love. Although an attached family man is always engaged in getting money by hook or by crook for the maintenance of his family, he cannot enjoy more than what he could consume even without such criminal activities. A man who eats 8 ounces of foodstuffs may have to maintain a big family and earn money by any means to support that family, but he himself is not offered more than what he can eat. And sometimes he eats the remnants that are left after his family members are fed. Even by earning money by unfair means, he cannot enjoy life for himself. That is called the covering illusion of Maya. The process of illusory service to society, country, and community is exactly the same everywhere. The same principle is applicable even to big national leaders. A national leader who is very great in serving his country is sometimes killed by his countrymen because of irregular service. In other words, one cannot satisfy his dependence by the illusory service. Although one cannot get out of the service because servant is his constitutional position. A living entity is constitutionally part and parcel of the Supreme Being. But he forgets that he has to render service to the Supreme Being and diverts his attention to serving others. This is called Maya. By serving others, he falsely thinks that he is master. The head of a family thinks of himself as a master of the family, or the leader of a nation thinks of himself as a master of the nation, whereas actually he is serving, and by serving Maya, he is gradually going to hell. Therefore, a sane man should come to the point of Krishna consciousness and engage in the service of the Supreme Lord, applying his whole life, all of his wealth, his entire intelligence, and his full power of speaking.
Jai. Thank you, Mata.
యాక్చువల్ గా ఫస్ట్ పేరే చదివేటప్పుడు నాకు వాల్మీకి మహర్షిది గుర్తొచ్చింది ప్రభుజీ. లైక్ ఈజ్ ఆల్సో ఫస్ట్ ఫ్యామిలీ కోసం ఈ వెంట ద ఫారెస్ట్ అండ్ కొంచెం దొంగతనాలు అలా చేసి పోషిస్తారు. బట్ వాళ్ళు వచ్చి చెప్తారు నువ్వు చేస్తున్నావు కానీ మీ ఫ్యామిలీ మెంబర్స్ దే డోంట్ టేక్ ఎనీ సీన్, ఓన్లీ వాళ్ళ కోసం చేసినా కానీ నీకే వస్తుంది అని చెప్పిన తర్వాత మళ్ళీకి మహర్షి వెళ్ళి అడిగితే వాళ్ళు అలానే చెప్తారు, అవును మాకేం సంబంధం లేదు అని చెప్తే మళ్ళీ మన హర్ట్ అయ్యి మెడిటేట్ చేస్తారు కదా ప్రభుజీ. అంటే అది ఫస్ట్ పారా చదివినప్పుడు నాకు అలా అనిపించింది. లైక్ ఈవెన్ దో ఇఫ్ యూఆర్ డూయింగ్ ఫర్ ఫ్యామిలీ మెంబర్స్, అంటే it leads to అంటే like మనం వాళ్ళ కోసం చేస్తున్నాం అనుకుంటాం కానీ that doesn't lead like we are doing it for them.
Yeah,
చేసిన bad
Prabhupada
things
writes,
అనేది.
yeah, Prabhupada writes in a criminal ways and because see again this one also talks about the materialistic person Mataji, right? Materialistic way of life who are leading their life. They wanted to enjoy their life, not acknowledging or recognizing the resources provided by this material world. All these resources not offering to him or taking without any acknowledgement. That means that is criminal, criminal. Dongale kada actually. See, uh, one of the defect of persons, four defects we have, right? Cheating propensity.
Cheating propensity.
We are the cheaters actually somewhere or other. I mean, now we are practicing devotion. We understand that everything is comes from Krishna, so we have to acknowledge and take it, and for our spiritual benefit. When we are having that kind of consciousness, no more. I mean, this metal world is facilitates for a person to continue progress. Otherwise, how can we come back to it? Of course, we situated in this material world. Prabhupada writes keeping in mind of materialists, criminalistic. Gruhamedi life, yeah, Gruhamedi. So yeah, first in the beginning, Valmiki life also like that only. But later, again, he got the mantra how to chant. Then by that, he achieved that perfection, and he has written Valmiki. These are all pastimes of Krishna. Sends different persons to teach us. Srila Prabhupada is, pure devotee of Supreme Lord. How he nicely see employing this word, nice words he uses in his purport. So employing all the resources, employing our senses for the pleasure of Krishna. That is not a criminal act. That is a righteous act, actually. Acknowledging, right? Yeah. Right. So anybody is one thing. A living entity is constitutionally part and parcel of the Supreme Being. Omai-vamsha, Jiva-loki, Jiva-bhuta, that is ours, Krishna says. But he forgets. Because of forgetfulness, we are suffering. That he has to render service to the Supreme Being and diverts his attention to serving others. This is called Maya. Forgetfulness, right? Not serving Krishna, but serving Maya in the form of different materialistic friends, family, blah, blah, blah. So that is the thing. And that leads, by serving Maya, he is gradually going to hell. Hellish condition. No, again, forced to take birth. And in whatever form, whatever that particular soul is thinks about at the time of death or during the course of his life. Next ever the Hare Krishna. Text 11. Whoever not done. Text 11 too.
I'll read, bro.
Yeah, bro. Okay, go ahead.
Translation: when he suffers, reverses in his occupation, he tries to again and again improve, to improve himself. But when he is baffled in all attempts and is ruined, he accepts money from others because of exclusive greed.
Excessive.
Greed, sir.
బాగుంటుంది అనమాట ఎట్లనే కావాలి పైసలు.
Yeah. Translation: thus the unfortunate man, unsuccessful in maintaining his family members, is bereft of all beauty. He always thinks of his failure, grieving very deeply.
Yes, 13.
Translation: seeing him unable to support them, his wife and others do not treat him with the same respect as before. Even as miserly farmers do not accord the same treatment to their old and worn out oxen. Purport: not only in the present age, but from immortal, no one has liked the old man who is unable to end the family. Even in the modern age, in some community or states, the old men are given poison so that they will die as soon as possible. In some cannibalistic communities, the old grandfather is sportingly killed, and the feast is held in which his body is eaten. The example is given that the farmer does not like an old bull who is cheesed to work. Similarly, when an attached person in family life becomes old and is unable to earn, he is no longer liked by his wife, sons, daughters, and other kinsmen, and is consequently neglected, what to speak of not being given respect. It is judicious, therefore, to give up family attachment before one attains old age and take shelter of the Supreme Personality of God. One should employ himself in the Lord's service so that Supreme Lord can take charge of him and he will not neglected by his so-called kinsmen. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you very much.
So much of philosophy.
See, అంతే కదా ఫ్యామిలీ ఇంట్లో ఆ వ్యక్తి ఆ పర్సన్ డబ్బులు సంపాదిస్తేనే అందరు రెస్పెక్ట్ ఇస్తారు. ఇంట్లో కూర్చుంటే ఇంటి సంపాదించకుండా ఇంట్లో కూర్చుంటే దట్ ఈస్ అ నేచర్. Prabhupada writes this statement. It is judicious. Therefore,
Yes, Prabhuji.
to give up family attachment before one attains old age and take shelter of the Supreme Lord. See, actually, Prabhupada uses one word actually, Gruhastha Paramahamsas, you know. Have you heard any time, devotees, this word? Gruhastha Paramahamsa.
వెళ్ళలేదు ప్రభుజీ, మీరు చెప్పండి ప్రభు.
Lalitman Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
విన్నా ప్రభు, విన్నా. ఐ హర్డ్ ఇట్ ప్రభు. లైక్ ఇది వరకు యాక్చువల్లీ మన గురుమాత గురుబాయిలు ఉండేవారు, గురువులు ఉండేవారు కదా, ఎవరు మన గురువులు ఉండేరు కదా రోజు. వాళ్ళు 55 years తర్వాత గృహస్థ పరమహంసలు అయ్యేవారు అనమాట. అంటే దే ఆర్ లివింగ్ లైబ్రరీస్. మొత్తం కమ్యూనిటీ అంతా వాళ్ళ దగ్గరికి వెళ్ళేది. వాళ్ళు ఇంకా గురుదక్షిణ కూడా తీసుకోరనమాట. అప్పటి నుంచి పరమహంసలో ఉంటారు, అక్కడే ఉంటారు, కానీ వాళ్ళు ఎప్పుడు గృహస్థలాగానే ఉంటారు మొత్తం వాళ్ళ లైఫ్ అంతా. వాళ్ళ ఒక కేటగిరీ అనమాట గృహస్థ పరమహంస అనేవాళ్ళు. బట్ ప్రభుపాద్ ఏ కంటెక్స్ట్ లో చెప్పారనేది నాకు తెలియదు ప్రభు. బట్ గృహస్థ పరమహంస అంటే గురుకుల్ని నడిపించే గురువు ప్లస్ గురుబాయి ఉంటుంది, గురుపత్ని ఉంటది కదా, వాళ్ళిద్దరిని గురు పరమహంస అనేవారు అనమాట. గృహస్థ పరమహంసాలు అనేవారు వాళ్ళు. 55 దాటాక ఇంకా వాళ్ళు ఎప్పుడు తీసుకోరనమాట, గురుదక్షిణ అడగరు, ప్లస్ కమ్యూనిటీ లైబ్రరీగా పనిచేస్తుంది. ఇప్పుడు మీరు చెప్పండి ప్రభు, నేను విన్నది ఇది ఒకప్పుడు ఒక చోట, మీరు ఇప్పుడు చెప్పండి.
Yeah. See, basically, consciousness, right? Consciousness is the thing. In ISKCON also, actually, there are some serious devotees, family, they lead family life, nice family life, perfect family life, always so nicely executing process of devotional service all the time, engaging somehow or other, whatever time everybody, everybody having 24 hours. Of course, in Grihastha, one has to work for his family, but consciousness. See, sannyasa order means sannyasa is a consciousness actually. Sannyasa consciousness, not dress. Detachment, detachment and completely developed selflessness, serving Krishna all the time. That is a consciousness. And Grihastha Paramahamsas means the entire family serving Krishna without any motives. They're always serving somehow. And go to temple in different services they take up, and at home They nicely executing devotional service, nice put up all the aratis, programs nicely. See, no question of any other things. So that is the consciousness. Like that's it. But how can we get that? It's not easy thing. Very rare. Very rare. It's possible. One can get that kind of consciousness. Very much possible when one seriously works on their consciousness, family, overall family consciousness. Yes. సన్యాస అంటే డ్రెస్కి కాదు యాక్చువల్లీ సన్యాస మీన్స్ is consciousness fully into lotus feet of onto lotus feet of Krishna and serving all the time. Same here, situated anywhere. Sada Hari Bole Thako. Param Vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtanam. Something somewhere Prabhupada mentioned, Prabhu, let me find out 1 second. అది మంచి word actually.
అది లైఫ్ లాంగ్ ప్రాక్టీస్ ప్రోజీ. కాన్షియస్నెస్ అంత రిఫైన్ చేయాలంటే అంత ఈజీ కాదు మీరు అన్నట్టు. అది అన్ని కలిసి రావాలి కూడా. కొడుకులు కూతుర్లు వాళ్ళ జాతకాలు కూడా కలిసి రావాలి. తర్వాత మనం కూడా అట్లానే ఉండాలి. ఆ కాన్షియస్నెస్ తోనే ఉండాలి. ప్రతిరోజు ప్రాక్టీస్ చేయాలి, దాన్ని అప్హెల్డ్ చేయాలి. అంత ఈజీ కాదు, బట్ పాసిబుల్ అయితే ఉంది. ఎందుకంటే ఎగ్జాంపుల్స్ ఉన్నాయి కదా. అలా మీరు అన్నట్టు చాలా ఎగ్జాంపుల్స్ ఉన్నాయి. మన ఆయన పేరు మర్చిపోయాను నేను. ఇది చౌపటి టెంపుల్లో ముసలైన ఒక జడ్జి ఉండేవారు, తెలుసా ప్రభు? ఆయన పేరు శ్రీనాథ్ ప్రభు కాదు, ఇంకొక ఆయన.
మహా పేరు వస్తుంది మహా సంథింగ్.
ఆయన మర్చిపోయాను, పేరు మర్చిపోయాను ప్రభు.
మహాప్రభు
ఆయన అంతే.
చైతన్య.
కాదు 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 కాదు, అంత పెద్ద పేరు ఉండదు ఆయన. ఈ పాజిటివ్ వాళ్ళ ఇంట్లో తెలుసా మాతాజీ, ఆయన వచ్చి ఈ రోజు గుడికి వచ్చిండంట. గుడికొచ్చి రేపు పొద్దున్న నుంచి ఇంట్లో ఉల్లిపాయ వెల్లిపాయ లేదన్నాడంట. ఇంట్లో వాళ్ళందరూ ఫాలో అయిపోయారంట. అంతే, రేపు పొద్దున్న ఉల్లిపాయ లేదు వెళ్ళిపోయ లేదా ఇంట్లో. ఇంకొక వారం తర్వాత వెళ్ళిండంట క్లాసులకి వెళ్ళి, మళ్ళీ ఇంటికి వెళ్ళి టీ కాఫీ లేదు ఇంట్లో అన్నాడంట. వాళ్ళందరూ ఫాలో అయ్యారంట. అంటే ఇంట్లో వాళ్ళు కూడా అంత మంచోళ్ళు అనమాట. యాక్చువల్లీ ఈ పెద్ద ఆయన మీద అంత గౌరవం ఉన్న మనుషులు అనమాట. 18 మంది ఉండేవారంట అప్పట్లో ఇంట్లో. ఆల్ ఆఫ్ దెమ్ ఫాలోడ్.
బట్ ఇట్స్ పాసిబుల్ బికాస్ ఆఫ్ లవ్ ఓన్లీ ప్రభుజీ. అంటే
అంటే ఆయన అంటే రెస్పెక్ట్, ఆయన మాట అంటే రెస్పెక్ట్ అనమాట. ఆయన ఏం చేసినా మనకు మంచి చేస్తాడని అందరికీ ఆ భావం ఉంది యాక్చువల్లీ ఇంట్లో.
తప్ప మారారు ప్రభుజీ అంత ఈజీగా.
అది ఉన్నది కాబట్టి అదే నేను అంటున్నా యాక్చువల్లీ. అది ఎందుకు సాధ్యమైందంటే ఈయన లైఫ్ లాంగ్ చెప్పింది పాటించేవాడు అంట. చెప్పేదే పాటించేవాడు, పాటించేది చెప్పేవాడు అనమాట. సో ఈయన ఏం చేసినా మనం మంచిగా చేస్తాడని అందరికీ రెస్పెక్ట్ ఉందన్నమాట. అండ్ అందరికీ చాలా సేవ చేసేవాడు అనమాట ఇంట్లో వాళ్ళందరికీ. అదే అంటున్నా, అది లైఫ్ లైన్ ప్రాసెస్, అది లైఫ్ లాంగ్ ప్రాసెస్. కానీ మనం అట్లా ఉంటే మటుకు మనం ఒక మాట మాట్లాడినా ఇంట్లో ఇల్లంతా ఫాలో అయిపోద్ది అనమాట. అట్లా ఉంటే అది ఈజీ కాదు. ఆయన పేరేంటి, పేరు మర్చిపోయాను. బట్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్స్ ఉన్నాయి అట్లా. మొత్తం ఫ్యామిలీ అంతా డివోటీస్, వాళ్ళ ఫ్యామిలీ అంతా డివోటీస్.
Right. So this one, Prabhupada writes here in one of the purport. Okay, take an example of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. He only writes, See, let me see. Let me show you. In our disciplic succession line, we have the example of a perfect householder Paramahamsa, Sri Bhaktivinoda Thakur. In his book Sharanagati, Bhaktivinoda Thakur states, Yedina Gruhe Bhajana Dekhi, Grihete Goloka Bhaya. Sharanagati 31.6. Whenever a householder glorifies the Supreme Lord in his home, his activities are immediately transformed into the activities of Goloka Vrindavana. Spiritual activities taking place in the Goloka Vrindavana planet of Krishna. CC Madhya 7.69. That's where, So he used it, Srila Prabhupada used. In our disciplic succession, example of perfect householder Paramahamsa, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur ki jai. అందుకే 7th Goswami అంటాం. 7th Goswami, right? So, okay. అందరు చదివినట్టేనా డివోటీస్? మీరు చదువుతారా లలిత్ మోహన్ ప్రభు?
ప్రభుజీ నేను చదవట్లేదు ప్రభుజీ.
మాధవి మాతాజీ. ఓకే ఓకే ఓకే. శ్రీహరి ప్రభు ఐఎమ్ సీయింగ్. ఓకే. మాధవి మాతాజీ. ఓకే, కంటిన్యూ ప్లీజ్. So one more thing in the previously I have highlighted now. What is that? Yeah, that's where it is. Yeah. I mean, why I took that, Grihastha Paramahamsa, to give up the family attachment means, see, whenever Prabhupada writes, see, since we are practicing devotees, sadhaka bhaktas, that is applicable for Gruhamedis. We have to, that's clear, okay? Krishna, Prabhupada always encourages devotees who is practicing, not to give up family, be in the family, responsible to the family, continue with responsibilities, and like Bhaktivinoda Thakur. I mean, of course, over a period of time, Krishna settles. Yeah, based on our intensity in the bhakti. All family stays together, then go back together, just like family, right? Tukaram Maharaj, right? Family పోయింది కదా, హస్బెండ్ మన తుకారాం మహారాజ్ అండ్
పృథు మహారాజ్ వచ్చి వెళ్ళారు. పృథు మహారాజ్ వచ్చి ధ్రువ మహారాజ్ సునీతి తుకారాం వాళ్ళ వైఫ్ ఉందనుకుంటా.
తుకారం ఒక్కడే పోయింది, ఆయన ఒక్కడే పోయింది. నేను పిలిస్తే రానంది కొన్ని ఏళ్ళు ఇక్కడ ఉంది, తర్వాత పోయిందంటారు ఈమె.
అమ్మ చూసుకోవాలి అని అంటది. సో తుకారాం వెళ్ళిపోతాడు.
ఓకే. సో నెక్స్ట్ చదవండి. నెక్స్ట్ వర్స్ చదవండి మాతాజీ. హరే కృష్ణ మాతాజీ. మాధవి మాతాజీ, హరే కృష్ణ. స్పీకింగ్ ఆన్ మ్యూట్, హరిబోల్.
హరే కృష్ణ ప్రభుజీ. ఓకే మ్యూట్ లో ఉన్నా ప్రభుజీ.
Read again.
Yeah. Translation. The foolish family man doesn't become averse to family life, although he is maintained by those whom he once maintained. Deformed by the influence of old age, he prepares himself to meet ultimate death. Forward. Family attraction is so strong that even if one is neglected by family members in his old age, he can't give up family affection and he remains at home, just like a dog. In the Vedic way of life, one has to give up family life when he is strong enough. It's advised that before getting too weak and being baffled in material activities, and before becoming diseased, one should give up family life and engage oneself completely in the service of the Lord for the remaining days of his life. Therefore, it's enjoined in the Vedic scriptures that as soon as one passes 50 years of age, he must give up family life and live alone in the forest. After preparing himself fully, he should become a sannyasi to distribute the knowledge of spiritual life to each and every home.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Next, Sri Hari Prabhu. చదవండి ప్రభు.
శ్రీహరి ప్రభు చదువుతారా? నేను చదవనా?
ప్రభుజీ మీరు చదవండి ప్రభు. 5 minutes తర్వాత I can read after 5 minutes.
Okay. Translation. Thus he remains at home just like a pet dog and eats whatever is so negligently given to him. Afflicted with many illnesses such as dyspepsia and loss of appetite, he eats only very small morsels of food and he becomes an invalid who cannot work anymore. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Before meeting death, one is sure to become a diseased invalid. And when he is neglected by his family members, his life becomes less than a dog's because he is put into so many miserable conditions. The Vedic literatures therefore enjoin that before the arrival of such miserable conditions, one should leave home and die without a knowledge of his family members. If a man leaves home and dies without his family's knowing, that is considered to be a glorious death. Prabhu, ఇది ఒక్కసారి హైలైట్ చేయండి ప్రభు. ఒకసారి ఇది హైలైట్ చేయండి. ఇఫ్ ఏ మ్యాన్ లీవ్స్ హోమ్ and dies without his family knowing, that is considered to be glorious death. Prabhupada రాయగలరు. But an attached family man wants his family members to carry him in a great procession even after his death. And although he will not be able to see how the procession goes, he still desires that his body be taken gorgeously in procession. Thus, he is happy without even knowing where he has to go when he leaves his body for the next life. Hari bol. ఇంత స్ట్రాంగ్ ఉంటాయి ఒకసారి నాకు.
ప్రభుజీ కానీ వితౌట్ ఫ్యామిలీ మెంబర్స్ చచ్చిపోతే దెన్ దే హ్యావ్ టు డూ సమ్ ఇయర్లీ కర్మాస్ కదా ప్రభుజీ. అవి ఎట్లా మరి ఫ్యామిలీ మెంబర్స్ చేస్తారు? హౌ డు దే నో వెదర్ హీస్ అలైవ్ ఆర్ లెఫ్ట్ ద బాడీ అనేది?
ప్రభు మనం వెళ్ళేది ఎందుకు ప్రభు బయటికి? ఫ్యామిలీ నుంచి బయటికి ఎందుకు వెళ్ళేది? టు సర్వ్ ద సుప్రీం లార్డ్ నా. ఆ కాన్షియస్నెస్ మనకు ఉండాలన్నమాట. మనం పోయినా ఆయన మనం చూసుకుంటాడని ఉండాలి అంతే. దేనికోసం పోతాం? ఆయన తలుచుకుంటేనే పోతాం కదా అట్లా నిజంగా వెళ్తే. లేకపోతే భరత్ మహారాజ్ లాగా అవుతుంది అంతే. ఇంకో 2 జన్మలు ఇస్తాడు అంతే. ఒక్కసారి మీరు ఆయన వదిలి వెళ్ళారంటే ఆయన చూసుకుంటాడు అంతే. ఆయన గుర్తు పెట్టుకోపోయినా ఏం పర్వాలేదు, ఎందుకంటే 2 జన్మలు ఇస్తాడు మళ్ళీ అది కంప్లీట్ చేయడానికి. గుర్తు పెట్టుకుంటే గొడవ లేదు. ఇంకా ఈ కర్మలన్నీ ఎందుకు? ఇంకా పితృకర్మలు చేసేది ఎందుకు ప్రభు? మనం వాళ్ళు బాగుంటారు కదా. మనం బయటకు వెళ్ళేది ఎందుకు? దేవుని సేవించడానికి కదా. ఇంకా అక్కర్లేదు అనమాట ఇంకా పని.
ఓకే ఓకే.
Statement is high.
In reality, it is very difficult to digest it.
Yeah, but actually, see, Prabhu, if a man leaves home and dies without his family's knowing, that is considered to be glorious. ఎందుకు వెళ్తాడు అసలు యాక్చువల్గా leaves home? See, because he wanted to meditate upon Supreme Lord Krishna 100%. That is the only motivation. In that condition, he left his body. That is a glorious death. Remembering Krishna, he left his body. And then doesn't matter. Family is knowing, anyway, not knowing here.
So before leaving from the home, it is better to make his family as Krishna consciousness, so that everybody will be on the same pace and they don't get any deviation in understanding the purpose of the life.
అందుకే ఋషభదేవ టీచింగ్స్ ఉన్నాయి కదా ప్రభు. Guru Nasasya, Sujana Nasasya, that's where we learn, right? So one's responsibility of a family member is to give Krishna consciousness to our family member. First we have to practice nicely ourselves, and we have to encourage and motivate them to practice by looking at us. అది చేయాలి, అది ఖచ్చితంగా చేయాలి.
But in this age of Kali, Prabhuji, is it possible to leave from the home and go to Vrindavan and stay alive?
ఉన్నారు ప్రభు, చేస్తారు, కొంతమంది చేస్తారు. పాసిబుల్, ఏది పాసిబుల్ కాదు. వదిలేయాలనుకుంటే వదిలేసుకొని వెళ్ళిపోతారు ప్రభు. ఐ మీన్ ఇట్స్ ఓకే, కృష్ణ విల్ టేక్ కేర్ ఆఫ్ మై ఫ్యామిలీ అని మొత్తం 100% డెడికేషన్ ది లైఫ్ ఉన్నారు. అట్లా అంటే అది ఇర్రెస్పాన్సిబుల్ ఏం కాదు. అది ఓకే, ఇట్స్ నాట్ irresponsible థింగ్. Of course, devotee is always responsible only, but if it appears like, but when he is 100% Krishna consciousness, Krishna is definitely taking care of his family, because his family also connected to, originally he connected to Krishna only, right, Prabhu? Definitely Krishna takes care of. Yeah, he is my devotee so seriously, 100%. Wow, nice bhakta. Okay, whatever connected people with him, okay, he will give mercy to them, definitely. No question. There is no question. 100% faith and confidence. Krishna will protect them also. Last devotee is Sri Prabhu. Chadandi ayipotadi.
Here I am not questioning Prabhuji. I just wanted to understand the in depth of the purport. That's it.
Crux.
Meaning of in-depth of the
No,
purport.
no, crux. రాసింత ముందా క్రక్స్. Yeah, yes. You don't know. ప్రభు మీరు చదువుతారా శ్రీ గారి ప్రభు?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji, I will read.
ప్లీజ్ రీడ్.
Translation. In the diseased condition, one's eyes bulge due to the pressure of air from within, and his glands become congested with mucus. He has difficulty breathing, and upon exhaling and inhaling, he produces a sound like grura grura, a rattling within the throat.
Fearful condition. How soul is, is leaving the body. This chapter itself, description by Lord Kapila of adverse creative activities. ఇది చదివి we can wrap up, Prabhu. Please continue also.
Translation and purport by Sri Prabhupada Ki Jai. In this way, he comes under the clutches of death and lies down, surrounded by lamenting friends and relatives. And although he wants to speak with them, he no longer can because he is under the control of time. Purport. For formality's sake, when a man is lying on his deathbed, his relatives come to him and sometimes they cry very loudly, addressing the dying man, "Oh, my father, oh, my friend, or my husband." In that pitiable condition, the dying man wants to speak with them and instruct them of his desires. But because he is fully under the sense in the control of the time factor, death, he cannot express himself, and that causes him inconceivable pain. He is already in a painful condition because of disease, and his glands and throat are choked up with mucus. He is already in a very difficult position, and when he is addressed by his relatives in that way, his grief increases. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Let us stop this condition, fearful condition. Let us chant nicely. See, at the end of life, ఒక మూవీ సినిమా మూవీలా జీవితాంతం ఏం చేసిందో ఒక రీల్ దాకా తిరుగుతుంది అంటారు. యా. సో ఆ రీల్లో మన కరెక్ట్ కృష్ణ కాన్షియస్ యాక్టివిటీస్ జరిగితే చాలా మంచిది. సో లెట్ us pray for that, కృష్ణ కాన్షియస్ రీల్. People are too much intoxicated, So the intoxication means not only drinking devotees, Intoxication means mind also. Mind also intoxicated. Intelligence also intoxication with social media, Instagram, reels, play, blah, blah, blah. So many wonderful things, Too much. That is intoxication, one kind of intoxication actually. So what we are getting here, at the end of life, ఒక మూవీ లాగా వస్తుంది కదా, ఆ మూవీలో మోస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ద టైమ్స్ దట్స్ వేర్ కృష్ణ కాన్షియస్ లైఫ్ ఈజ్ సో గుడ్, బట్ it is very hard, basically with controlling the mind and get the self control is very difficult. We always have to consciously work on it. Consciously working on our consciousness, consciously working on our consciousness, devotees. Krishna consciousness means we have to consciously work on Krishna consciousness. That is what this reading, hearing, chanting continuously. Whatever job is there, okay, my mind always ఏదో ఒకటి క్లిక్కర్ అన్న పట్టుకొని క్లిక్కింగ్ చేసుకోండి, no problem. Of course 16 rounds on Japamala, but some devotees I see, they wanted to more rounds, not possible all the time in office work. For example, clicker is there, click, remember, no problem. First 16 on Japa, remaining whatever you like to do it. Give mind to Krishna. Put our consciousness into holy name. Hare Krishna. Okay. Dandavat pranams. Thank you so much for reading. Prabhu, anchor sloka master. Prabhu, ఏం చేస్తారో చెప్పండి నెక్స్ట్. ఇది ఒకటి ఓపెన్ చేస్తున్నా. we are spending good time on the those verses. Lord's position also we have done this one. సో ఇదే కూడా అయిపోయింది కదా. సో ఏం చెప్పండి ప్రభు, నెక్స్ట్ ఇది చేస్తారా? ఇది కూడా అయిపోయింది అనుకుంటా. యా,
అయిపోయింది ప్రభు, అయిపోయింది అది కూడా.
శ్యామం హిరణ్య ఇది చేస్తారా?
అంటే ఇది ప్రాక్టీస్ దేనికి నేను చేయొచ్చు అని పెట్టినాం కదా ప్రభు. శ్యామం హిరణ్య పరిధిం వనమాల్య బర్హ ధాతు ప్రవాల నటవేశమనావ్రతాంసే విన్యస్త హస్తమితరేణ ధునానమబ్జం కర్ణోత్పలాలక కపోల ముఖాబ్జహాసం. ఇది శృత్వాలాగానే వస్తుంది కదా ప్రభుజీ.
అది అక్కడనే ఎట్లా శృత్వైన అక్షరాలతో కూడా రెండు అనుకున్నాము.
రెండిట్లో కూడా వస్తుంది. మనం ఎట్లా ప్రాక్టీస్ చేసాం ప్రభుజీ? ఎట్లా శృత్వాల్లో ప్రాక్టీస్ చేసాం కదా దీన్ని.
ఐ థింక్
తర్వాత
రెండు ఇట్లా
వేసాం ప్రభు, ఋత్వాల్లోనే వేసాం.
ఓకే, 23, 22 కదా. సో ఇది గోపీస్ హౌ దే హావ్ సీన్ కృష్ణ. ఇది చేయమంటారా ప్రభుజీ? ఇది చేయించమంటారా వాళ్ళు?
ఇది ఒకసారి మీరు చేసేయండి ప్రభు, రేపు ప్రాక్టీస్ చేద్దాము. Read the translation and spend a couple of minutes and we can wrap up. Okay, you first read the translation, then you can explain something. Okay, and then tomorrow we will decide.
Sure. నేను చదువుతాను ప్రభు ట్రాన్స్లేషన్, ఓకేనా? Translation. His complexion was dark blue and his garment golden, wearing a peacock feather, colored minerals, springs of flower buds, and a garland of forest flowers and leaves. He was dressed just like a dramatic dancer. He rested one hand upon the shoulder of a friend, and with the other twirled a lotus. Lilies graced his ears. His hair hung down over his cheeks, and his lotus-like face was smiling. హరే కృష్ణ. వాళ్ళు ఇది యాక్చువల్లీ ఏంటంటే గోపీస్ ఫర్ డిస్కసింగ్ అనమాట. ఒకరికొకరు డిస్కస్ చేస్తున్నారు. నేను కృష్ణుని ఎట్లా చూశాను, మీరు ఎట్లా చూశారు, వాడేం చేస్తున్నాడు, మీరు చూస్తున్నప్పుడు ఏం చేస్తున్నాడు, నేను చూస్తున్నప్పుడు ఏం చేశారు, ఈ డిస్కషన్ అనమాట యాక్చువల్లీ ఇక్కడ జరిగేది. ఒక్క నిమిషం మనకి అన్నయ్య ఉన్నారు. సో ఆ డిస్కషన్ జరుగుతుంది అనమాట ఇక్కడ. హరే కృష్ణ ప్రభుజీ. ఇది 10:23 ఇది. సో వేణుగీతలో అనమాట. వేణుగీత డిస్కస్ చేసుకున్న ముందు వాళ్ళు ఇదంతా డిస్కస్ చేస్తారు యాక్చువల్లీ. మా వాడు ఎక్కడికి వెళ్ళిపోయాడు ప్రభు, నేను ఒకసారి చూసుకోవాలి. సారీ,
రేపు చేద్దాంలేండి. ఓకేనా, ఇప్పుడు చేస్తారా? రేపు చేద్దామా?
ఒక్కసారి చేస్తాం రోజు, లేకపోతే ఒక 2 minutes తర్వాత వెళ్ళిపోతాం.
రైట్,
ఇది ఇట్లా వస్తుంది ప్రభుజీ. శ్యామం హిరణ్య పరిధిం వనమాల్య బర్హ ధాతు ప్రవాల నటవేశమను ప్రతాంసే విన్యస్త హస్తమితరేణ ధునానమజ్జం కర్ణోత్పలాలక కపోల ముఖాబ్జహాసం. అసలు గోపీస్ మెడిటేషన్ చూడండి, మొత్తం మైన్యూట్ డీటెయిల్స్ అనమాట. ఇవన్నీ మనం ఎందుకు ఇస్తామంటే, యాక్చువల్లీ ఇవన్నీ మనం ఎందుకు చదువుతామంటే, ఎప్పుడైనా మనం కృష్ణుడి దగ్గరికి వెళ్ళామనుకోండి, గుళ్ళోకి వెళ్ళామనుకోండి, డీటీ ముందుకు వెళ్ళామనుకోండి, ఈ డీటెయిల్స్ మనం అబ్జర్వ్ చేయాల్సిందే యాక్చువల్లీ. ఓకే, దట్ ఈస్ వాట్ దే ఆర్ టెల్లింగ్ us. చేసాము అంటే మళ్ళీ ఆపోజిట్ సెక్స్ కి అట్రాక్షన్ ఉండదంట ఇట్లా చేస్తే. ఓకే, సో దిస్ ఇస్ వాట్ హ్యాస్ బీన్ టోల్డ్ బై మెనీ ఆఫ్ ద ఆచార్యస్. ఇవన్నీ మనకి ఎందుకు ఇస్తారు యాక్చువల్లీ? భాగవతం 10th కంటే ఎస్పెషల్లీ ఏంటంటే, ఎవరు కృష్ణుని ఎట్లా చూసారు అనేది ఎక్కువ ఉంటది అనమాట. అంటే దే ఆర్ కంప్లీట్లీ మెడిటేటింగ్ ఆన్ ద ఫార్మ్ ఆఫ్ కృష్ణ విత్ 100% దిస్ థింగ్ కాన్సన్ట్రేషన్. మనం కూడా దేవుడి దగ్గరికి వెళ్ళినప్పుడు, డీటీ ముందుకు వెళ్ళినప్పుడు ఇట్లాగే కాన్సన్ట్రేట్ చేయాలన్నమాట. అప్పుడే లస్ట్, ఆపోజిట్ సెక్స్ అట్రాక్షన్ తగ్గుతాయి మనకి. స్లోగా మన భక్తి పెరుగుద్ది అనమాట. సారీ ప్రభు, థ్యాంక్ యూ సో మచ్. నౌ వి కెన్ కంటిన్యూ.
Hare Krishna devotees, we will continue tomorrow only. I will share this this sloka in our group. Okay, we'll continue tomorrow. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुमेव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंतकोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। जगद्गुरु शिल प्रभुपाद की जय। निताय गौर हरि प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। Thank you very much for your association. Have a nice KC Thursday. Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, दंडवत प्रणाम। हरे कृष्ण माता जी, दंडवत।